feels like everywhere you turn these days, AI is exploding, right? And it really is evolving at a mind-boggling pace. So today, we're doing a deep dive to look beyond just the headlines.
Right.
We've got a whole collection of the latest news, company announcements, even research papers. We want to give you a clear picture of what these AI advancements actually mean, like for you, for the world.
Exactly.
And we're going to do it without getting bogged down in all that technical jargon, right? No one wants that.
Nope.
So we'll cover some really cool stuff like AI that can generate crazy realistic images, breakthroughs on how AI thinks and solves problems, even AI that can create lifelike 3D, like avatars, and AI that can analyze data for you.
Yeah.
So are you ready to kind of get a clearer picture of where this AI future is heading?
Absolutely. Let's dive in.
Let's do it. What I find really striking is just how fast AI is progressing in this area of image creation. We're seeing new models and updates that, they're not just little tweaks, they're huge leaps in realism and in the level of control that users now have. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, it's incredible. We've come a long way from just blurry shapes and blobs. And one of the things that I think is most exciting is this focus on really nailing the user's intent. AI seems to be getting much better at understanding exactly what you're trying to create.
Right. So that means less trial and error for us, right? We can more directly translate our ideas into visuals.
Exactly.
So, okay, let's talk about Reve Image 1.0. This is from Reve AI Inc.
Okay.
Seems like this one's making, some serious waves. And what really stood out to me was their emphasis on how well this model understands the prompt, along with this real knack for handling text in images and just making things look visually appealing.
Yeah, and I think that attention to detail, like the typography and the overall aesthetics, is a really big deal.
Okay.
It suggests that AI-generated images are moving beyond just experimental or novelty items and becoming much more suitable for professional use, where things like font legibility and overall visual quality really matter.
And get this, they have a free preview.
Oh, cool.
At preview.revetart. So, go check it out.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, it looks super user-friendly too. Like simple language commands for modifications. You can even upload a reference image to kind of guide the style.
And that reference image upload is a game changer. It gives you so much more control over the final look and feel of the image. It's like showing the AI an example of what you have in mind, which can be so much more effective than trying to describe it in words.
Right, exactly. If you've ever describe a very specific visual in words, you know how hard that can be.
Oh, totally.
So now, another big player in this field is Ideogram 3.0. And they're also claiming a big step forward, both in realistic image generation and in user control.
Yeah, and what's really cool about Ideogram 3.0 is their focus on how text is rendered within the images. They've developed some seriously advanced text rendering capabilities, multiple fonts, different languages, the whole works. And that's a big deal because in the past, AI-generated images often had, wonky or just plain gibberish text, which was kind of a dead giveaway that a human wasn't involved.
Yeah, you've probably seen those.
Oh, yeah.
They're kind of funny, but also kind of, creepy. So they've got this feature, style reference, which sounds kind of similar to what Reve offers.
Yes.
And they also have this random style option, which is hey, AI, surprise me.
Yeah, and that random style feature is so fun. It's like a little creativity booster. You never know what you're going to get, but it can lead to some really cool, unexpected results. And another big plus with Ideogram 3.0 is that it's freely available globally. So access to high-quality image generation is becoming more and more democratized.
So one thing I thought was really interesting, one of the sources we were looking at actually claimed that Reve Image is outperforming both Ideogram and even Midjourney, which is a big name in this space, right?
Yeah, it is. And it just goes to show you how quickly things are moving in this field.
Yeah. It's crazy how fast this stuff is evolving.
Totally. And that competitive pressure is driving so much innovation. Ultimately, this is good news for us, the users, because we get access to more powerful and versatile tools.
Oh, for sure. And speaking of competition, let's not forget about OpenAI. They've made their image generator within ChatGPT available to free-tier users.
Yeah, that's huge. Integrating image generation into a platform like ChatGPT that so many people already use just makes it so much more accessible.
Right, it's super convenient. But there is a little bit of a catch.
Okay.
For the free users, you're limited to 3 images per day.
Oh, okay.
And there have been some reports that this is putting a strain on OpenAI's computing resources.
Yeah, it's not surprising. These models are incredibly complex and require a lot of processing power to run. But, it's something to keep in mind if you're planning on using it a lot.
Okay, so let's shift gears a bit. Let's talk about multimodal AI and the advancements we're seeing in AI reasoning.
Okay.
Now, Alibaba Cloud has released some new Qwen models, and the one that really caught my eye was Qwen 2.5 Omni 7B. Now, this is going beyond just text-based AI, right? This is a whole other level.
Yeah, this is a truly multimodal model. It can handle text, images, audio, even video, and it can respond in real time.
Wow. So this means we could be interacting with AI in like much more natural, much more intuitive ways using different types of input.
Exactly. It opens up a whole new world of possibility.
It really does. And get this model is so efficient, it can run on smartphones and laptops.
Wow.
So that's a big deal, right?
Yeah, that's huge. It means that this technology isn't limited to research labs or big companies. It can be in the hands of everyday people.
And, it's not just about being versatile. It's also about performance. This Qwen model has reportedly outperformed models like Google's Gemini 1.5 Pro on certain benchmarks.
Yeah, those benchmarks like OmniBench are designed to test a wide range of multimodal abilities. So Qwen's strong showing there really suggests a high level of competence in understanding and integrating different kinds of information.
That's impressive. Now, Google hasn't been standing still. They've also announced Gemini 2.5 Pro. And this one seems to be all about pushing the boundaries of how well AI can think, especially when it comes to complex reasoning tasks.
Yeah, Gemini 2.5 Pro has an insanely large context window, like 1 million tokens. For context, that's roughly the length of a novel.
1 million tokens?
Yeah.
Like, that's almost hard to even grasp. What difference does that kind of context window make in, like, the real world?
Well, think about summarizing long reports, analyzing complex code bases, understanding intricate narratives. With a larger context window, the AI can hold on to so much more information at once, leading to much more comprehensive and accurate analysis. It's like having a superpower memory.
Yeah, and it seems like it's gotten even better at programming. Like, one of the most impressive things I saw was that it can apparently create fully functional outputs, like video games, from a single prompt.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing. It's not just spitting out a few lines of code, it's building entire interactive experiences.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. It feels like we're moving beyond just recognizing patterns and into a realm of like genuine understanding, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Which brings us to the ARC AGI2 benchmark. What is this exactly, and why should we be paying attention?
So ARC AGI2 stands for Abstraction and Reasoning Corpus AGI2. It's a new benchmark designed to evaluate something called general fluid intelligence in AI systems. Unlike traditional benchmarks that test specific skills like language or image recognition, ARC AGI2 focuses on tasks that require more abstract reasoning. The ability to interpret symbols, think compositionally, and adapt to new and unfamiliar situations.
So it's trying to measure AI's ability to think and solve new problems. Kind of like how humans do when we encounter something we've never seen before.
Exactly. It's not about memorizing facts. It's about the fundamental capacity to learn and apply new concepts. And to incentivize research in this area, there's a $1 million prize competition attached to it.
Wow, $1 million. That's pretty serious. So let's switch gears a little bit and talk about some of the specialized AI tools that are popping up. Alibaba has developed something called the Large Human Model, or LHM. And it sounds like something straight out of, like, a sci-fi movie.
It kind of is. The LHM can generate highly detailed 3D human avatars from a single 2D image.
Whoa.
Yeah, the implications for things like VR, gaming, creating personalized digital representations, it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it is. How does it work? Like, how does it go from a flat picture to a whole 3D model?
It uses advanced neural networks combined with a technique called pyramid encoding. It basically analyzes the image at different levels of detail, looking at the overall shape, then the finer details of the face and body. This allows it to reconstruct a 3D model that's not only realistic, but can also be animated without a ton of manual post-processing.
That's incredible. So, not to be outdone, Microsoft has been busy developing their own set of AI tools. These are aimed at boosting productivity. Tell us about these AI agents, researcher, and analyst.
Okay, so these AI agents are basically enhancements to Microsoft 365 Copilot. Researcher uses OpenAI's models to do in-depth research, kind of like a super efficient research assistant. An analyst focuses on data analysis using chain-of-thought reasoning and Python-based computation to turn raw data into actionable insights.
So it's like having an AI assistant right there in the tools that people use every day, helping them with complex tasks like doing tons of research or analyzing massive data sets.
Exactly. Researcher can gather info from different sources and summarize it, while analysts can identify trends and important findings within your data. The idea is to free up your time so you can focus on the bigger picture, the strategic stuff.
Okay. Let's talk about search. I mean, we all use search every day, right? Perplexity has come out with a new feature called answer tabs. What's the big idea here?
So Perplexity's answer tags are all about making search more efficient. Instead of just a big, long list of results, you can navigate different categories of info, like images, videos, travel info, even shopping options.
Oh, that's interesting. So it's like pre-sorting the results based on what you're actually looking for.
Yeah.
That could save a lot of time scrolling through irrelevant links.
Exactly. It makes the search experience more structured and intuitive. It's currently available on the web, but they're planning to bring it to mobile soon.
Cool. Now, before we wrap up, there was also mention of DeepSeek's V3 AI model. What's noteworthy about this one?
So DeepSeek's V3 AI model, specifically the DeepSeek V3 version, is a non-reasoning AI model that's been released under the MIT license.
Okay.
So it's open source. And that's a big deal for researchers and developers because it allows them to use, modify, and distribute the model freely. And that can really accelerate innovation in the AI field. Even though it's non-reasoning, it's still a powerful tool for a lot of different applications.
Okay, so, wow, we've covered a lot of ground here. Incredible advancements in image generation, the amazing multimodal capabilities of models like Quinn and Gemini, specialized tools for things like 3D avatar creation, and AI agents that can do research and data analysis. I mean, it's clear that AI isn't just getting better, it's undergoing a fundamental shift across so many areas.
Yeah. And what's so exciting is how these advancements are all kind of feeding into each other. We're seeing models that can not only process different types of information, but they can also reason about it in more complex ways. And then they can generate outputs that are incredibly realistic, whether it's an image, a 3D model, or some kind of insightful data analysis.
For sure. And, you know, for me, some of the biggest aha moments were seeing how natural AI-generated text is starting to look within images, and just the sheer scale of Gemini's context window and what that makes possible, and then these AI agents that can handle super intricate research and analysis tasks. I mean, it really gives you a sense of the potential that is becoming reality.
And if you step back and look at the bigger picture, none of these developments are happening in a vacuum. They're all building on each other, creating this kind of positive feedback loop where, improvements in one area lead to improvements in others. It's really exciting to see where this is all going.
So as you're listening to this, I want you to think about how these advancements might affect your work, your interests, even just your daily life in the future. If you're in a creative field, could these new image generation tools completely change how you work? If you work with a lot of data, could an AI analyst help you uncover hidden patterns and insights?
Yeah.
Or maybe you're just fascinated by the idea of AI that can reason and solve problems at a human level. So take some time to explore the things we've talked about today. Maybe try out some of these free image generators, or just think about what smarter AI assistants could mean for you.
And this brings up a really important point. As AI gets more and more powerful, how do we adapt and use these new capabilities effectively, both as individuals and as a society? Staying informed, like we're doing right now, is the first step.
Absolutely. So that's a wrap for today's deep dive into the latest AI innovations. It's a constantly changing field, but we hope we've given you a better understanding of what's happening and what it all might mean for the future. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive.
See you next time.